Welcome back, everyone. Here's another Blindfolded Pottery session to start off my big throwing day. I hope everyone has had a great Valentine's week and was able to put some time aside for someone they love and a little bit of self-love as well. The goal for today is doing a bowl with just about 2 pounds of recycled clay. It's a little bit lumpy and giving me some difficulty with the hard spots, so it might take a second to get this centered. This might not be a super normal technique, but it's kind of one of my ways to try to cheat it back into the center a little bit more without having to really morph anything or start over. As this one went, every time I started to raise it back up, the interior was off center again. So it took a few tries to pull that back up, center it, and then get the outside and inside actually on track.
Fire went out, lights went down. When you feel lost in your shadow, don't feel alone, don't scream so loud. We are living in this cruel world, broken but strong, gotta move on. You're not a bakery of life. Equip my soul, find the real gold. I'll fulfill what I started.
Another thing I could have done to make this a little bit easier would have been to wedge the clay a bit better. I tend to forget how much wedging some recycled clay needs in order to be smooth and have even hydration. I decide it's about as good as it's going to get, so it's time to try to open this thing up. Today I definitely don't have quite the amount of focus I usually like for this process, so it's been hard to connect with the piece and really feel where it's at.
When you feel lost in your shadow, don't feel alone, don't scream so loud. We are living in this cruel.
And due to that lack of focus I have today, I made the bottom pretty thin, so hopefully it will still work out and I can trim it into a nice shape.
Find the real gold, I'll fulfill what I started.
I'm deciding it's time to try the knuckle technique again, so let's see if this works out. I tend to have some issues when I can't see of feeling exactly how much I'm compressing the clay, so sometimes get really thin spots without realizing. And so here, as I start to compress that rim, I definitely can tell that I was using way too much pressure with that knuckle technique. In an attempt to save the top section, I'm actually going to try to compress it down quite a bit, basically making that clay thicker. It ended up folding down a bit, but I was able to smooth it back in and get it into a place that's workable again. Now that that's more on track, I am starting to pull outward to start that bowl shape. And right about here, I push too hard with my outer hand, so it pops off. Today, I'm not really feeling a lot of this process, so I decide that that'll do. It was great practice, and I can move on to the rest of my throwing. Thank you again for sitting with me through this pot. If you have any suggestions on shapes or challenges, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, see you next week.